Welcome everybody to another Sunday night frequency meditation, and a lot's been happening this week, as always it seems, especially if you're doing the space-time program. You can be pretty well guaranteed that you are on the leading edge of the technology that's on offer for us right now for this shifting, these changes that are happening for all of us. So a lot of people are starting to get those glimpses of the new self, of who they are, what they can come into. But before we can go into that new self and tune into a different reality that's on offer for us, that's all there waiting, is we need to go into the death space and disconnect. Disconnect from programs that are not serving us, disconnect from realities and dimensions that we hang out in, so that we have that space and we can move gracefully into it without it being this abrupt shift that so many people tend to go through. So with that, let's in this meditation really bring in for you, help you understand from a bird's eye view the reality that you are tuned into right now, what programs bringing that awareness for you, what programs are holding you back, and then with that, give you the technologies to take that step and move into that new version of you. And that new version is all about grace and ease, giving you freedom. And with that, let's drop into a meditation and see what comes up. So coming right here, right now, situated in your body, just noticing you in your body, noticing the skin that covers your whole body, keeping all of our inner workings within, protected, helping the most nourishing environment to be in from the outside environment. So just noticing you in the center of your body, your chest area, and as we take a deep breath into a count of 3 through our nose, and then we hold that breath to a count of 3, and then release the breath to a count of 4, noticing those 3 movements. So when I say take a breath in, you can do it to your own count, just be disciplined. Helps you help yourself navigate deeper with your body, with the body brain. So as we take another deep breath in, and again noticing our chest area here right now, where we are. And these times we're in, whatever process you're in right now yourself, if it's one of expansion, empowerment, or if we're in a process of maybe disconnecting from other versions of ourselves, other programs, and we're going through, some refers detox, going through that transitional movement of walking away from the old and then walking into the new. As we take a deep breath in. So just as we're settled here right now, perhaps asking your higher self, where am I in this movement? Am I in expansion? Am I becoming aware of programs that I have defined myself by? And since these programs have been here my whole life, not many other lives, they're so ingrained in me. I'm comfortable in this environment, this reality that has been created. I'm familiar with this reality that I've created. And although these programs, this awareness that I'm receiving of not being congruent with the true self I am, is coming in, there's a resistance. A resistance to creating ourselves in this death space of deselecting the programs we operate by. We deselect because our true being is everything all at once. And how we have come to define ourselves here in this physical form, we have deselected from everything, leaving what we are today. Taking a breath in. But humans are very comfortable with familiarity, even if that environment may not be nourishing and to the extreme abusive. There is a feeble naivety of feeling more in control than venturing into the unknown. So as we take a breath in and we notice our chest area, noticing the skin all around our body, and you in your body right now, right here. The great challenge for us humans is these things called filters, blind spots, how we have created ourselves to be able to look outside of this environment. Similar to fish. Fish are in water. That's the only environment they know until they're taken out of water. And then that's a very different environment, reality that they experience. So for us, how is it possible to fix something if we're not aware that it's even broken? Another breath in, and let's just settle here right now. As you focus on your body, I will focus on creating an architecture so you can experience different environments, different realities that we go into all the time, but we're simply not aware of the impact, the influence it has on our perspective around us. So as we take a breath in, bringing in a clear comparison of how we create ourselves in different realities. So as we breathe in, centered in your body, Let's use that superpower of ours called an imagination. So right now, think back just before you decided to come and listen to this frequency meditation. What was going through your mind? Interactions, the issues, challenges, joys, accomplishments. Just think in the last hour before you joined this call, bring it back using the imagination in as much detail as you can. Observe. Observe how you were perceiving things. Observe how you felt within. And that vibe you picked up of your environment around you. Again, we're just going back to whatever, 10 minutes before this call started, that period before. So it's fresh, although we can shift our perspective very fast in these frequency meditations. Taking a breath in, noticing the ribs outside of where your chest is, keeping it contained so it can perform its function efficiently. Again, recalling what were you experiencing before this call. And now, as we breathe in, let's dig deeper using the imagination. I say it's an imagination. We're going to the past. It's imagination because we never really create in the mind's eye from memories the truth of what we experienced. Whatever we go through is filtered through our programs. And our recollection is influenced by that. So I say, let's use our imagination along with the memory to go back to when you're 4, 5 years of age, around that time period, if you can recall it. And as we are in this season, third week of December almost, reflect back on one of those Christmases you had that fantasy that was represented to us that created such warm joy and excitement within us. Going back to when we expected Santa Claus to come in the middle of the night. And no one on this call right now that I can see had such a horrendous upbringing that they cannot recall one Christmas that influenced your perspective with great love and joy, excitement, unity. As we take a breath in, and let's remember, but with our imagination, it's actually a more accurate instrument. Those filters that influence so much when we try to recall. A finer instrument, the imagination, yet we have dismissed it as such childishness. Once you know the depth of what the ability of imagination is, that we humans possess, animals don't, nature doesn't, we do. You'll find out what a superpower it is to create and to manifest. So let's experience with our imagination that Christmas we had. Perhaps the smells in the house, the lights of the Christmas tree. For some of you had fires brewing in the background, music, laughter, stillness, peace. We're focusing on that Christmas. I am well aware. Many of you have had other versions as well. We could use that, but I tend to like to use more of the truth of the underlying creation of the one, then using examples of the distortions that are not from the truth with a capital T. So as we breathe in, and we breathe in this experience of that magical night, recall how safe you felt. Recall how the mind was free of concerns and fears. So you're perceiving a different environment, a different reality that you created, influenced by your environment, than the one coming back now to just before this call. The difference of the two realities. Noticing the difference. Noticing the two environments, like the fish in or out of water. What if you could live in that reality, if you could tune into that reality from that Christmas evening and bring that feeling of safety, completion, love, at will, to the current reality you're creating, whether you're conscious of it or not. Well, we can. We all have the ability to not recreate from the past. We're not bringing in the physicality of what happened. We're bringing in the frequencies. We're tuning back into the frequencies when our perspective was from a pure source. before this lifetime influence us to perceive our reality how we are right now. So we're not bringing in the physical experiences, but what we're tuning into those frequencies, we're tuning into that reality that we experienced, that we created. We know how to create it. We have already done it. And we're bringing those frequencies to the present moment. And by doing that, we receive even a deeper awareness of what programs we're operating by right now that are in so much contrast to that ideal version of ourselves back then on that evening of Christmas. And with this awareness, and with the awareness of different environments, different realities that we do spend time in, we start to understand the mechanics on how to edit, disconnect from these programs that have created the reality that maybe we don't choose to be in anymore. Maybe we do not choose to be in financial insecurity. Maybe we do not choose to be in an abuse environment, whether that's self-abuse or addiction. Maybe we choose not to be living our life for everyone else except for ourselves. Whatever it might be, you will receive the awareness from your higher self directly. And then it's up to you to decide that you no longer wish to create yourself this way. Awakening means awareness. The great challenge, as I mentioned, for us humans is that we don't have awareness on how we're creating ourselves. We're asleep. We're numb. So it's hard to fix something if you're not aware that it's broken, as we take a deep breath in. This, you'll find, is a great empowerment that we all have to render ourselves how we choose to, instead of what we have done as a society, as a mass consciousness, just kept bringing all the programs in from our past, from our ancestors, bringing it all in with never deselecting, with never pausing and asking, why have I brought this in? Not that the answer matters about the why. I don't spend too much time on whys, the story of where it came from. It's quite irrelevant for me, because it won't shift anything. Instead, we can be objective and observe how we operate. And instead of going into the whys, the story, we put our attention onto the masters that we are, and we deselect it. And we ask our higher self, what frequencies can I bring in that will let me be my best possible self here? by creating ourselves with these frequencies, we tune into another reality. And in that reality, the consequence is this environment around us, this world, people, places, things. Humans have been doing it the opposite. They got the cart before the horse. So as we breathe in, well, you can repeat this meditation. You can take another example from a period in your life where there was a stark shift in perspective, whether it was a wedding or a funeral or a birth, graduation, whatever it may be. You choose. You can also, if you wish, if you're strong enough to be centered, I would always say that because it's the only way it'll be productive for you. You can also choose to review a period in your life where you're in a different reality based on unpleasant events. Maybe it was a death, an accident, illness. And you'll see that difference from where you are today. For those who can stay centered enough, it's a very powerful movement. But if you're not strong enough and centered, the exercise will not empower you. It will do the opposite. So choose. I prefer, again, as I said, focusing on examples based on the truth, not the distorted truth. So taking a breath in, focusing on you within your chest within your body within your skin. Noticing right now what you're sitting on or lying down on or standing on, just noticing what is supporting you right now, keeping you here in place with this other superpower, the superintelligence of gravity, calculating every millisecond with precision so you don't float away or you don't compress into the ground. Any smells around you, where are those smells coming from? And then just noticing your kneecap. You in your kneecap in your body. The smells outside. The taste in your mouth. Noticing your intestines. And then opening your eyes and looking at an object, noticing where that object is, and then noticing your back. And you and your back in your body, and then that object outside of you. This is referred to as spatial referencing. It's an amazing technology to bring you back in your body, to notice the environment that you are in your body. It's our hub. It's where we're supposed to be. That's why we're here in physical form. So for those of you who are more advanced, who's been working with the space-time method for a while now, and you're going into different realities, you're getting access to different realms. We always want to start, our place of reference is always here in our body. And from here we expand out. We tune into other realities. We don't go anywhere. important to be here, centered in our body, before we go explore. Messes a lot of people up if you don't do it that way. And with that, I'll see you all next Sunday, and I hope everybody has a beautiful, chilled week.